Let's start with them. Let's start with them because they get Clemson, and to differing levels, obviously. Two pretty disappointing teams.
Yes.
I didn't think that going into the season, I didn't see the Tigers being this bad as a team. How do you become this bad as a group when we all know that NFL scouts show up there every Saturday and look at those players and go, yep, he's a pro, he's a pro, he's a pro. They have too many pros to be this bad. What's in the water?
I mean, I don't know. The way that Dabo's lashing out, obviously there's an undercurrent that's not adding up. And I thought Cade was probably QB2. I thought him and Nussmeier were going to be battling for that. Obviously, I was wrong about Arch. I was wrong about three things. Okay, no problem. I don't mind being wrong because it proves that, we don't all know what we're doing, but we also – these guys know that they have work to do. And, I mean, Carson Beck is sitting at, number 11 in the ACC in terms of passing? So, So, but it's – the thing for me is them – trying to generate a consistent run game has been a thing. I'm not talking about big runs. I'm talking about a consistent run game. Those are two different things. And I also look around the league and you lose to Syracuse. I love Fran. I think Fran was maybe my favorite interview. Did you talk to Fran at ACC?
No,
kickoff?
I did not.
Oh man, he was so good.
Yeah.
Man. He's so good. And then you lose to Georgia Tech and Key has those guys dialed in up until,
Well, they didn't lose. At least they didn't lose. They tried to.
They worked very hard to lose, but they're dialed in. And listen, I don't know how much of Georgia Tech you've watched, but Haynes King, you want to talk about a man that was willing to put his body on the line. He will do it for you. And I think that is inspiring to the rest of the team. Like they want to play for him.
Right.
So this weekend, right, there are two. I wrote this in the newsletter. There are two. What are your expectations for UNC Clemson?
Oh boy, I would love to see North Carolina.
That's not. I didn't ask what you'd love to see. I said, what do you expect?
Oh, I expect Clemson to. I don't think Clemson's all that good, but I expect Clemson to win that game by 2 touchdowns.
Right. So what I expect, I don't even expect anything on the field because I don't know what either one of these teams are doing, and I don't think they know either. I expect to see a lot of orange in that stadium because I know folks that have sold their tickets to their neighbors.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
For people that don't know, Charlotte is a UNC basketball town
and a Clemson football town.
It's a Clemson, South Carolina, NC State, App State, even football town.
Right.
And folks got tickets and they're like, man, I don't need to see this. And then I expect to see some empty seats at the start. And that's not what we expected going into this year with this game, start kicking off ACC play. But you want to know a crazy stat? Clemson is last in the ACC.
Yeah. Last. They are at the bottom.
Last.
Like it has vibes of Florida State from a year ago.
And I don't think they're going to be that bad. I will say that. I think when you have Woodaz, when you have Wesco, even with Klubnik, I think you have an opportunity to go make plays. Obviously, when you have, TJ Parker and when you have Woods and all those
guys.
Like they got dudes. I think they're going to find a way to get it correct and get it at least get the train back on the tracks. But they're not what we thought they were going to be. And now I don't know what the ACC. What is the plan for the ACC? Because I'm looking at the standings right now. Gold. No, I'm being serious.
No, I know you are, and the answer is they've got no plan. What they have is hope, and we all know that hope is not a strategy.
Well, and you wish in one hand and something
exactly
in the other. See which one fills up quicker. Right,
exactly. So the Miami needs to beat Florida State on Saturday. Yeah. Right? And I don't know. I mean, do you trust Mario Cristobal with this? That's the problem. We all don't trust Mario Cristobal because he will actively try and sabotage things unintentionally, but he will do something. They'll run it instead of kneel when they could kneel. Yeah. But yeah, they've got to beat Florida State on Saturday. If they don't, then I mean, they'll have two teams in the mix, right? Maybe they'll have two playoff teams, but it will completely damage the rest of the season.
Because Georgia Tech still has to play Georgia.
Yeah, but like we had this conversation last week, Mike, about the Georgia Tech. They'll be favored over everybody they play until the Bulldogs. But that doesn't mean they're going to win those games, as we just nearly proved, because if you're not great, if you're like, unless you are an elite team, you could lose to anybody. And I think Georgia Tech is good, but I don't think they're elite. They could lose to anybody that they play on their schedule. And by the way, Duke's sitting out there. I think Duke's going to be a problem for Clemson. I don't know if Duke's going to beat them, but I think they'll be a problem. And I think Duke plays Georgia Tech too, and that'll be a problem for them.
Well, I like Mensa. I don't know what happened at Tulane. They got in his skull.
Yeah, I did. I think that was. I think they got beat twice by Illinois, is what I think.
And that was a rough one too. And that like, especially, not to take it out of the ACC, but I was writing about the Big Ten, and I was like, there's 3 teams in the Big Ten that I feel like I know anything about, or it's in a good way.
Right.
I know a lot about these teams in a bad way, but Oregon, Ohio State,
right,
Indiana,
right.
And like,
did we learn about Penn State this week?
Did we learn they ain't it?
Well, it's James Franklin. Interesting. And
Franklin and Mario Cristobal should hang out. Well, it seems like they do hang out.
I have a better analogy for you. What has James Franklin not done in his career at Penn State? He hasn't won that game, right?
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Okay. Isn't that Dave Doran at State?
That could be Dorn. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah,
I mean,
very good.
A little bit of a higher level Penn State than NC State, admittedly. But
sure, but yeah, that's a good one though. Like a guy that just can't seem to get over the hump.
So let me get to State, because I know you have seen this Wolfpack team. I don't know how you feel about Bailey and Hollywood Smothers and their receivers and Joe Lee. And the offensive line has been good. It wasn't great this week. Gave up sacks, couldn't get a run game going against Virginia Tech. How do you explain every year there is a game that they shouldn't lose that they do, and Saturday was that game?
Well, you mentioned Illinois beating Duke twice. I think. Look, I'm going to give some credit to Virginia Tech.
Okay.
They came out and they just lost their coach, right?
Yep.
I think they just came out with a little bit of fire and were ready to go. And obviously the mistakes mounted. I like CJ Bailey. You know I like him.
Yeah.
We've talked about him before.
Love him.
I like him a lot. I mean, I'll never forget at ACC kickoff when I said, dang, you really are 6'6". And he was like, 6'7". I was like, okay, thank you. Thank you for correcting me.
Yeah.
But Hollywood is good. Hollywood is very good. I mean, do you think this team looks different with Concepcion?
No, I think that I think he was I think their receivers right now are legitimately good. I think they have there's only one football. With Smothers and
we'll get into the good ones.
Well, but I think they've got so many. I think there's a lot of same. I don't think they miss KC Concepcion. Maybe I'm crazy, but I don't think they miss him.
It's not Jolly. Is it Jolie?
Jolie.
I like Jolie.
I love him. But they have not unlocked him yet.
Well, that's the problem. Why? What are you waiting on?
He's been sort of a possession guy. He catches a bunch of touchdowns, but they have not gotten him down the field, which I'm a little surprised at, because I think the guy could be certainly a day 2 NFL pick.
Here we go. He's got 10 catches of his 24 for first downs.
Yeah.
He has no catches over 25 yards. He has 6 catches over 15 yards. Like, let this guy go.
I'm with you. They just have not.
Let him go play football and go make plays. Like, he is the biggest mismatch on this team. Do it.
Yeah. They haven't gotten him going.
This guy weighs 260 pounds.
He does not look like. We talked to him at ACC kickoff. That's the greatest red suit I have since Santa.
Yeah. We talked to him too. He let him run. Use your little guys in the intermediate. Let this guy push vertical and then make a play. Because I can tell you one thing as a former safety, I'll never forget. We had a scrimmage in spring, and we had a guy named Rock Wells who's a backup tight end.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm playing cover 2, but Rock hits his seam and he burns in on me. And my other guy isn't close enough, but I'm close enough. So I get there. You know, I'm not fast, but I got there. I hit him he goes up to get the ball. I hit him square in his back. And I was like, yeah, I made a play. And then I was like, oh, my neck. Oh, no. This is bad. And I just laid there for a second. They were like, are you okay? And I was like, this isn't worse than the last time I hurt my neck, but this does not feel good. And you got to let tight ends do those things because that's where they make hay. And if it's a tight end versus a linebacker, that's okay. You can that's their zone. But if you can get them on a corner on a safety down the field, all of a sudden you're talking about, you know, like what's a goon to a goblin? Like those guys are going full goblin mode. Like you can be a safety that's the biggest goon in the world, but unless you're Cam Chancellor, you're gonna have some problems.
Let me ask you about one thing that Mike Felder is joining us here at In the Bleachers on Twitter. You can also get the newsletter. It's Felder. It's more than just football. It's also cooking, or who knows, sometimes sewing. The State's defense. Like, I know last year's defense wasn't good with Tony Gibson. Now it's a DJ Elliott. And they've given up a ton of big plays. But, man, they do not cover very well in the secondary at all. And I think there was a lot of they can be run on now, too. Duke was just amazing in all phases offensively in the second half last week.
Yes.
Is their defense about adjusting to a new scheme, or is it personnel related?
I think it's a little column A, little column B. And like the way that I think about it is like if you go through his like resume, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's the thing for me. Wyoming, very good defense, like consistently over the course of the last few years. Then you trickle down to Miami in 2002, obviously good defense, right? And that defense was very different than Wyoming because that defense played with the talent and they were able to go out and just make plays. Then you scroll down and you keep going. You get when he was at Florida State, defensive ends coach. Those guys like to kick out, play a little bit wide nine. Do you have the personnel to do that? So that's where personnel comes into play, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's played a lot of different schemes and a lot of different looks. And I just think that, Temple, I thought at times had a good defense as well. So this is one of those things where you have to design, and maybe it's the fact that he's being tasked with having to design it to what he has versus walking into a place that knows who they are. And I think that's one of the most important things that I've learned in college football over the course of my career. You can't force square peg in a round hole. You cannot do it. And if this team should be playing, and because I talk about it with UNC as well, if they should be playing more zone coverage and they should be hugged up to the line, mugged, and then bounce, they should do that. Because giving guys space and then not getting hands on them is a problem. If you don't get your hands on guys, you're going to be in trouble. And that's just the reality. And that's even a bigger reality in current college football than before.
All right, Mike Felder, before we have to say goodbye, let's bring it all the way back to UNC because we started that with Clemson. I want to get a couple of thoughts on the Tar Heels. Do they have personnel to be better, or are they ultimately just trying to survive the season with a roster that probably is better suited for not a Power 4 league?
So I got my notes from today. I did my thing for Tar Heel 24/7, and I was going to talk about a lot of stuff, and I said, you know what? Let's look at third downs. So let me ask you this: do you know where they're ranked at? In the reason we're going to circle back to third downs. I'll go quick. Scoring offense, where are they?
Have to be low.
106.
Yeah.
Total offense.
Also low.
134.
Yep, that's bad. Anything in triple digits is bad.
Pass offense.
Oh gosh, awful.
124.
Yep.
Rush offense.
118.
113. You're very close. Those numbers do look kind of the same.
Yep.
So they do score on 81% of their red zone trips.
That's great. But they get into the red zone. They have to be 123rd in trips into the red zone.
They have 11 red zone attempts.
They've played
11.
4 games.
It's been 4 games. So that's why I get the third downs, because this is not a, and you're a baseball guy, I'm a baseball guy. This is not, let's just wait and hit home runs. Maybe you strike out, let's hit home runs. This is not that.
No.
Oklahoma, when Oklahoma played, I believe, Georgia in the college football playoff, like, I guess that had to be like 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. Oklahoma had very few third down attempts, but that's because every play they did was a home run.
Right.
This is a team that needs to play station to station football.
Right.
4 yards on first down, 3 yards on second down. That's 3 plus 4. That gets you 7. Now we got a third and manageable.
Yep.
Maybe we even get to a third and short if you fall forward. So it's 3rd and 1, and then you can convert that third down. It's hard. Teams are impatient. Players are impatient. But that's the thing that I see the most about this, which is why I wrote third down. I had an old coach, and he told me, how do you score in football? I was like, you just put the ball in the end zone. And he's like, no. What you have to do is get off, because he's talking to me as a defensive player. He's like, all you have to do is get off the field on third down, and they'll never score, which is what we're talking about with UNC. These teams are getting off the field on third down, and they're limiting the amount of third downs that they play. If you don't play a lot of plays, how can you even get good? You don't even get real game reps because you can't even get there. Between turnovers on downs, and we had this problem with Larry Fedora for a while, right?
Yes.
The 90-second 3 and out, like what? So I think
they had 90-second scoring drives too. That's the thing,
right? But this team, you think they're going to have that?
No.
Right.
Well, they do. So, they did against Charlotte to start that. Exactly.
Great, fantastic. No, that's fantastic. Good, right. Awesome, good.
Yeah, I know.
That's the barometer.
If I could translate what you said, though, and put it in a baseball term, you want the Tar Heels to bunt the runners over more.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That's bad baseball, Mike.
It's not bad baseball.
It's terrible baseball. Bunting is awful. I would never let my kids bunt.
There's a huge difference between not liking something and it working.
It leads to fewer runs. We're going to turn this conversation into my diatribe.
Fine. What do you? Here's the thing. Have you seen UNC play defense?
You're right. Keeping the ball would be better.
Every time you give the ball back to them, what happens? Somebody's hitting the gritty in the end zone.
I know.
So you don't want to do that. What you got to do, you got to tighten these games up. You can't. I'm sorry, like I feel bad saying it, but the reality for me is they need to take the approach of a team, whether I don't care if you watch Iowa played Indiana beat Illinois by 53 points.
It's crazy.
How much did they beat Iowa by?
Oh, I didn't see the score. Did they keep it? Iowa kept it close because that's what Iowa does.
Because that's what Iowa does.
Yeah.
And they don't wait. They like, that's a thing that's really hard to do, but everybody gets gritty. Remember Dana Horgelson, right?
Yes.
When he was at West Virginia. And Geno Smith was winning the Heisman Trophy in September. And then teams started playing this halo defense that didn't let them throw the ball deep, even though they seeded all this stuff short. Take the short stuff.
Yeah.
And then you guys keep getting, what do they keep getting if they take the short stuff?
First downs.
So you can get those first downs, and then where do you end up?
Red zone.
In red zone. After the red zone, you get to the
hopefully end zone. And the Tar Heels are great at it. 81% must be like in the top 10 in the country.
All I did was look up where they ranked in terms of what they're doing, and I looked at how many times they've been there, and that's like, are you kidding me? Like that's
all right. Well, good luck.
11 times.
Good luck to to all of the Tar Heel fans out there. Look,
I hope they show up though. I really do. Like that's more sincere than anything. I hope they show up.
Mike Felder, you're the best. At In the Bleachers, you can check out It's Felder on Substack, and of course Tar Heel 247 or 24/7 because that's really what it's referencing. Round the clock. Yeah, yep. I get it. You're the best, my man. I appreciate your time. I'll talk to you later.
Bang.
You got it. Mike Felder here on the Adam Cole Show.